What are we gonna do today, Amore?
We're making sourdough bread.
Yes, so my Amore, Jessie gonna make you the bread, the best bread ever.
This is our favorite bread, number one. Number two, we are making it without all of the fancy schmancy tools that you usually see in recipes. So I'm going to teach you how you can make an amazing sourdough using things that you probably already have in your kitchen.
Yes, but that is the secret sauce, right?
Yes, so we're using my sourdough starter. We will make another video showing you how to make this.
Yes.
So stay tuned for that. If you have your own sourdough starter, obviously you can use that.
Okay, so I gonna be the director, she gonna be the cook, so let's go! What you need to do first?
Alright guys, so woo, put on the hat, obviously. I'm so honored you're letting me wear your hat.
Good, good. Okay, let's teach the people.
So, first, like I said, you're gonna need sourdough starter to make your sourdough bread.
Yes.
If you don't have sourdough starter, you can't make this recipe yet, but you'll be making your sourdough starter with our recipe that's coming soon, and then you can join us on this recipe.
Okay, you want to show the tools, but what is here? Ha ha!
It's my notes!
It's the notes! You don't know! Okay, then let's put it first.
Shame me for my recipe notes.
Okay, terrible,
Okay.
terrible. Okay, what do you need?
You only need 4 ingredients. So your sourdough starter,
Yes.
water, which we have over here, filtered
Yes.
water, salt,
Alessio, salt, and...
Alessio salt, and bread flour.
Okay, perfect.
Step, you are going to measure out your water. So I'm going to use a scale because I think it's more precise, and we always use a scale when we're making anything in this house. So I'm just going to add my bowl, and I'm going to tare it. We're adding 300 grams of filtered water.
Let's see the disaster.
Oh no,
Oh.
too much.
You need to be really exact with the measurement, Amore?
I'm gonna be exact because
Okay.
I like to be exact, but you don't have to be perfectly exact. Like that's pretty much close enough. Okay, now we're exact.
Perfect. Okay.
So into the 300 gram water, you're gonna add 100 grams of your sourdough starter
Okay, how you measure this?
with a spoon.
Oh, with the spoon.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, 300 plus 100 is 400.
Well, I'm gonna tear it again, but I wanted to say, so I fed my sourdough starter this morning around 9 o'clock, and
Yes.
then I let it rise up.
Yes.
So that it's doubled in size, and you can see how bubbly it is. That's
Let
how
me
you
see.
know
Okay, I can see the bubbling. So means ready?
it's ready to use.
Okay, ready
Okay,
to use.
So we're gonna tear this again. Now we're gonna add 100 grams into the water. So do you wanna show them what it looks like going into the water?
Yes.
So this is kind of fun.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Let's have fun.
Look how floaty it is.
It's floating, yeah.
That's also how you know it's ready to use because it has enough air and bubbles to make your bread rise.
Oh, under two
Okay,
you
close
said.
enough,
Close enough.
At this point, I would usually discard a little bit more of the starter and then feed it again so it's ready for the next time. But right now I'm going to put it aside because I'm actually going to make 2 loaves of bread, so we're still going to use it. So now we're ready to add our flour, our farina. We're going to tear again, and we're going to look at our notes to make sure we get the right amount. 450 grams of bread flour.
Always close enough. It's not a perfect chef.
Now we're going to do 10 grams of salt.
10 grams the salt. Supposed to be easy this. This was easy. 10. Finally. But you know, should put a little bit more because you wrong all the other ingredients.
No,
Okay.
it's fine.
Go ahead.
Now that we have that, we're going to just combine it with our trusty wooden spoon here. And you're just going to combine it together until all of the dry pieces are incorporated into the wet pieces. It should look a little something like this. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to cover this with a dish towel and let it rest for 30 minutes, and then we'll be right back. I'm going to show you guys how I feed the starter after I deplete it from baking. I've taken 2 bread worth amounts of starter out of here, so 200 grams. And right now, according to this, I have about 70 grams of starter. I'm going to take all-purpose flour and water, and we're going to make some magic. we're gonna add 100 grams of all-purpose flour to our container. Okay.
Perfect, 100 grams.
Nice.
And then?
Then we're gonna add 100 grams of water on top of that.
Okay.
It's okay.
105.
Close enough. Then this is what it looks like.
Then what is the secret? Like if it's missing just a small piece, is keep feeding, right?
If you're not familiar with sourdough starter, we're gonna get more into it into another video, but basically what this is a wild yeast that I have captured from the environment, and now I feed it, because it's alive, with flour and water, and that gives it food to, I guess, keep the colony going. So even if you have a little bit, you should be okay. Just never use everything of your starter, because then you'll have to start over from scratch. So always leave a little bit left. I usually leave about 50 to 70 grams, and then I feed it with 100 grams of flour and 100 grams of water. So now you're going to stir it all up. Get rid of all the dry pieces. I'll let this rest, and then when it's kind of started feeding, I guess, I'll show you guys what it looks like.
30 minutes later, wait a second, 30 minutes later, and you have your head sideways. Sideways.
What?
So the green need to go to the other side.
It's backwards that way.
Oh, for the camera?
No, for the Velcro. After 30 minutes, you're gonna do your first round of stretch and folds. What is a stretch and fold? Well, you basically take a piece of the dough, stretch it up as far as you can, and then fold it over. You're gonna go all the way around the dough a couple times. So stretch, fold. You're gonna go all the way around, make your little ball here. Stretch, oops, and fold. Stretch, fold. I'm gonna go around probably 2 or 3 times. After this, you're gonna let it rest another 30 minutes, and we're gonna come back for the second stretch and fold.
How many do you need to do?
We're gonna do 3 total. This is the bulk fermentation portion. So the dough is fermenting, rising, kind of getting all the bubbly stuff inside, and we're just helping that along. After every stretch and fold, you're gonna cover it when you rest it. So now we're gonna do the second one. Same thing, stretch it up. You can see it's a lot more stretchy. Fold it over, stretch it up, fold it over, and we're gonna go around just 1 time.
The chef is late. Chef! Chef!
You need to follow me. You just...
I need to follow you? Chef! First of all, no hat. Then you came like pissed.
I'm tired.
Do this bread. Where is your hat? Yes, chef. There we go.
We're here for the final stretch and fold. The final stretch and fold. So we really want to be gentle, but we want to be intentional with it. You don't want to be too rough, because you don't want to mess up all the bubbles that have been created inside. So going around again.
Look, Micha's coming. Ciao, Micha!
After you do your last stretch and fold, you're gonna cover it again, and you're gonna wait. I wait at least 3.5 hours. Okay, that's a long time, but we need it to keep rising, keep fermenting. So we're gonna cover this and leave it for 3.5 hours, and then we're gonna do the pre-shaping situation.
Okay. That is perfect. Hey, 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 hey.
We're back.
We're back, so...
We're showered, we're whatever. It's pajama time. Don't look at me. Alright, so we've let it rest, and now we're going to take it out onto a floured surface, which I don't have ready. Hold on.
You know ready?
Take it out with the stretch and fold method. So we're gonna stretch it and fold it to help loosen the dough from the side of the bowl. Alright, there we go.
There we go.
Now.
Yeah, came perfectly.
Look how nice and bubbly that is.
Oh, let me see. I need that. Yeah.
Smooth side down, folded side up. We're gonna do another stretch and fold gently, just to make it into sort of like a little ball shape. And this part is sticky underneath, so you can use it to kind of like seal your dough. Look, you can see bubbles.
I cannot see it from the camera. Let me see. Show a bubble.
Oh, well, here, but...
Oh, wow. Okay. Now I figured out.
Okay. Now, after you do this, you're going to flip it over like this. And we're going to brush off this dough, this flour, whatever
Flour,
it is.
yeah.
We're going to set it down like that. Okay?
Yes.
Now, we're going to take our towel again and let it rest another 30 minutes.
Another 30 minutes?
Yes.
Wow.
And
Okay.
it's a lot of resting. An update.
An update. Oh,
On the sourdough starter, look how much it's grown. So when we fed it before,
Yes.
it was maybe here.
Yes.
So it's already doubled
Yeah.
in size, and probably over the next several hours it's gonna go all the way up to the top, so triple in size. And then I'll probably feed it again in the morning. Oh, look. Oh, you missed a big bubble.
Bubbles keep coming
Yeah,
up.
look at all those bubbles. And you can see on the side too, maybe you can see. How's my hair?
Beautiful.
Crazy?
Yes, they are.
Okay. So now is the part where we're waiting for these to rest. We're gonna prepare our homemade banneton baskets. So one of the tools that a lot of people use are banneton baskets. We don't have any, so I'm going to use whatever I have at home, which is going to be a metal mixing bowl, this wooden fruit bowl. If you don't have any round bowls, you can use a casserole dish if you want to. Anything you have, you're just going to use that with a dish towel, put it down inside. Then you're going to flour. Don't even need this if you don't have it. You can just kind of gently flour with your hands, but I'm going to use this.
And guys, you need to just smash the like button just for this amazing tips. Right?
Just get ready for tomorrow's filming when we show you how to bake without a Dutch oven.
Woohoo!
Alright, so we have our floured surface.
It's sprinkle all over the place, guys.
Yeah, on the side, just
On the
so it doesn't
side.
stick and it's easy to remove.
Yeah.
It's time to shape our bread. We have our little dough here. Just gonna flour the surface a little bit. Now, we're gonna flip them over gently because we don't want to pop all the bubbles that are inside. Okay? So now we're gonna stretch it out to make kind of a square shape. Just gently stretching the corners. We have our square, rectangle, whatever shape. This is what I do to make sort of a round bread. It's not a rectangular batard, it's a bowl, I'm not sure how you say it, a round bread, but I do it in a way to make a lot of tension on the top of the bread so you get a nice oven spring and a nice ear. So we're going to shape it kind of like we would a batard. So you're going to take one side, fold it over to the middle like that. Then take the other side and fold that over and seal up your little envelope. Then you're gonna take it from the top of the bottom, whatever. You're gonna start stretching and rolling. So you're gonna fold, and this is gonna create a lot of tension on the dough to make a nice spring and ear. So you're just gonna keep rolling and folding it over. Then once you have your little log, they're gonna be these little flaps on each end. You're gonna take that, stretch it over and fold it down, again to create some nice tension on top. Look at that. Then you're gonna stretch this down. Oop.
Perfect. Look at the professional.
All right, now that that's like that, then we have our little loaf. We're gonna gently just tug on the sides again to just create even more tension on the top, because what you want is a lot of tension going across the top to make a really nice spring. You can do this kind of folding it under or pulling it towards you and just kind of curling the dough under. Doesn't have to be perfect. But you're gonna be left with something generally like this. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our little basket. You're gonna take your dough up, and the smooth side is gonna go down like that, okay?
Okay,
Then
the smooth, okay.
Then you're gonna close it up. You're gonna put it in the refrigerator overnight.
Overnight.
Overnight. And
Okay.
I'm gonna do this, and we're gonna check in the morning.
The chef is late.
Late.
Yeah.
You know, when you're baking, it's important to take your time and to not feel rushed, you know? You have all the time in the world. How do I look?
Nah.
Terrible?
No.
Let's start the process for baking. Preheat your oven. I'm gonna bake my bread on a pizza stone, but if you don't have this, don't panic. You can use a pan, like a cooking pan. I'm using this in place of the Dutch oven. So I'm gonna show you guys how I bake the bread in the oven without the Dutch oven and still get a nice oven rise, a nice ear on the bread, and all this stuff. So first you're gonna need this. Then you're gonna take another pan and flip it upside down. Well, first of all,
Yeah. So you need to put that in on the top.
yeah, it's wherever it is for you, just to have a space for the bread to rise. Ours was too low, so it was gonna keep the bread down. So you're gonna take this and you're gonna flip it over on top, and this is gonna act to kind of help keep some moisture around the bread, because what you want, the reason people cook in a Dutch oven is because it keeps humidity while you're cooking, and it allows the bread to rise before it forms a crust. When it forms a crust, it's hard and it can't rise anymore. So we want to keep some humidity going. So we're going to bake our bread here, and we're going to put this on top to kind of help block the heat. Then we're going to take another pan. I'm going to put some water in here, and we're going to put it in there. We're going to preheat the oven to 500 degrees. This is just my method to keep some moisture in the oven while you're baking the bread. So this is our setup.
Yeah.
In the past, I would put the water down here below, but I found that it creates more moisture being on the same level as the bread. So this is our setup. Now we're gonna preheat to 500. I am using the convection oven. If you don't have convection, you can use your regular oven. It's fine. Okay, so you've got your dough. You're just gonna flip it over. Look at that. Now, some people like to put a lot of flour on the top if you're gonna do a fancy design. I prefer to kind of brush off as much flour as possible. So I'm just kind of scraping off some extra flour that might have fallen and gotten kind of concentrated in a specific area. Now we're gonna do our cut. So if you're not familiar,
Yes.
most often you probably see people using like a little wooden tool that has a little razor blade on the end of it. We don't have that, obviously, so we're gonna just use a sharp knife from our kitchen. And the key is don't cut straight up and down. You wanna cut at an angle so that you get a nice lift. And I'm just gonna do something really simple called like a half moon. I'm gonna start at one side. I'm gonna gently slice all the way to the other side. Now, you probably won't get a nice perfect cut the first time, so just kind of go back in, work your knife down inside until you have probably about 1/2 inch or a little bit more cut in. And you can also go back and do some fancy patterns if you want to. I'm just gonna go simple and do this nice half moon slice, like that. Just make sure you go from one end all the way to the other end. Grab some parchment paper and you're gonna gently shift your dough over there. And now we're gonna put it into the oven. So, stone, and we're gonna close it up. Now, we're gonna lower the heat immediately to 465 or 470.
Why?
Because that's just what I've learned gives you the best results.
Okay.
But, see, it's still too hot, so we're gonna just let a little bit of heat out of the oven. Typically, when you're baking or cooking, you don't wanna let heat out of the oven. We're trying to let some heat out so that it'll reduce the temperature. I actually do have the answer. So when I heated it up to 500, I wanted the stone to be really hot.
Okay.
But now I want the temperature of the oven to be a little bit cooler.
Okay.
So we're gonna let this kind of air out a little bit. Let's see where we are now. I think I'm even gonna lower it to 465. Okay, so we're gonna go up to 465.
Yeah, go down a 52, 452.
Yes. We're gonna set a timer for 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
And we're gonna check back in like 3 or 4 minutes for a little trick.
Okay.
Since we don't have a Dutch oven, what we're trying to do is create that heat, that humidity, that steam. So one of the tricks that I like to do is take a little bit of water. If you have a spray bottle, this will be much easier, but I'm not fancy like that, so I'm just gonna use a little cup. What you wanna do is be very careful. You wanna open the oven.
This is for the people that don't have a spray bottle.
If you have a spray bottle, you can mist it in, and that's fine. I don't have that, so I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna open it up, and I'm gonna very gently pop and close it up, okay? And you can do that, you know, for the first 5 to 7 minutes, every couple of minutes. I've only done it a couple of times each time, and the bread always turns out fine. But it's just a way, if you feel like you need more humidity in there or steam, you can do that.
Actually, we have the spray bar. It was always over there in the...
Alessio told me we have one. So
Okay, sure. Well, it is who no have it, what they need to do, and then let's see who have the spray bar, what you need to do.
So you're just gonna open it up.
There we go. And this you do it for 6 minutes.
No, not for 6 minutes. Just in the first 6 minutes, if you feel like you want to do it a couple times, you can do it. There's not a real science to this part.
Okay.
Alright guys, our first 15 minutes are up. So we're gonna open up this oven. And, ooh, okay, it's kind of steamy, but you can see already our bread puffed up like crazy. So we're gonna take off the top pan. You can leave the water pan in there, but we're gonna take this one off. All right, look how boofy, it's so cute. Okay, so we're gonna leave that in there another 15 minutes, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna lower the temperature again. I'm gonna lower it to 410 this time. And we're gonna let it cook another 15 minutes. Ooh, she's cute. Eccoci qua!
Wow! Let me do a circle.
It's cute, it's cute. If you want your bread darker than this, you can leave it longer than 15 minutes. You can go 20, 25 minutes. It's just to darken up the crust. Now is the sad part. Because you smell the delicious bread, you want to cut into it immediately. No, you have to wait at least 2 hours before cutting the bread.
2 hours, so
yes,
wow.
I know, it's terrible. But this is one of the most important parts of baking. You want all the heat to release. If you cut the bread too early, you're gonna have like a sticky, gummy texture of the bread inside. You want the heat to release, and that's gonna dry out the middle of the bread, and it's gonna be so much better. Just trust me, wait to cut your bread. If you have a thermometer, you want it to be around 90 degrees Fahrenheit inside the bread. 2 hours minimum.
Wow.
Hear that?
Yeah.
Nice hollow sound.
Here.
Alright, I'm excited to check it out. You never know until you cut inside.
This is the time.
Yes, it is time to cut
Yes.
this little bread.
So it's in temperature.
Yes,
We check.
we waited until it was 90 degrees Fahrenheit inside. We used this little thermometer we got from Amazon. Now we're ready to cut.
Go. Open. Wow.
Delicious.
Cut the
Look
other
how
side.
tall it is.
It's this.
Really
Cut the other
tall.
side too.
You're not supposed to cut it this way.
Yeah, but we're gonna eat everything.
Well, let me put it down then.
Because this is what we're gonna eat right now. For storage, you're gonna need to put it like that, right?
Yes, I say put it down so that it kind of acts like its own little bread box, because
Yes.
the crust is hard and inside you keep the bread nice. I would leave it like this for a couple of days. If you're gonna have your bread for longer than that, either buy a real bread box, or you could put it in Ziploc bags. You can freeze it. It freezes really well. Put it in the refrigerator, whatever you want.
Entimio oil intenso.
What do you think?
This is the perfect combination. You make this your own fresh bread.
The outside is nice and crispy, so you have a nice crunch when you bite into it. The inside is nice and soft and springy. It's the perfect combination.
Oh my god. So, do you want to say bye to her, guys? Look, she keep eating. So, to the next tutorial, guys. Ciao ragazzi!
Bye guys! I could eat this whole thing for dinner right now.
Yeah,
You have something you're cooking for dinner?
of course, but
What are you making?
bread or
Something healthy?
yes. I'm curious to see the other one. Don't finish it! I'm joking. Oh, so mad.
What the heck was that?